Hi everyone. I've been getting a lot of questions about the 2021 Project Management Professional Certification Exam. It launched in January and it's brand new. They have revamped it. So I'm going to answer some of the questions that many of you may have as we work through our session today. What can you expect to gain from this session? So an understanding of the changes. So we're going to talk about the previous exam as far as the PMP certification and the new exam, again, that launched in January 2021. I'm going to let you know where you can find the current examination content outline. I'm also going to post that in the comments below. I'm going to let you know where you can find the PMP Certification Exam reference list. It is much longer than it was for the previous exam, so stay put because we're going to talk about what they look like now. We're going to talk about the process for applying for the PMP certification. So this is going to cover your experience requirements and your educational requirements. I highly recommend making sure that you're eligible to sit for the exam before signing up for any type of a certification exam prep course. We are then going to just talk briefly about the new Authorized Training Provider program that Project Management Institute launched also this year. And we're going to talk about the benefits for attending a PMP certification exam prep course once you know that you are eligible to sit for the exam. As a reminder, the PMP certification, it really is the golden standard. There are more than 1 million people certified across the globe. And it's interesting because research is showing that more than 2 million project-oriented roles are going to be required each year through 2027. Also, PMPs report earning up to 25% more than non-certified professionals. So it's going to give you a leg up in the global market if you have this certification, and most likely you will end up making 25% more than non-certified individuals. So what's up with the exam, the new exam that just launched in January 2021? The previous exam was 100% predictive, also known as traditional or waterfall project management. It was based solely on the PMBOK 6th edition. And now there's significant changes because the current exam is only 50% predictive, or that traditional and waterfall. And the other 50% of the exam is made up of agile and hybrid project management practices. So again, this is a big change and another reason why that reference list for the PMP certification exam got much longer. There are also 3 different areas that are being focused on. They are called domains for the certification exam. The first one focusing on people. I love this because you cannot successfully execute a project without having people on board. This makes up 42% of the PMP certification exam. Next, process. This makes up 50% of the current exam, and this really focuses on that technical side of managing the project. Last but not least, the business environment, that's going to make up 8% of the new PMP certification exam. So what can you expect once you are fully prepared, you have your exam scheduled, and you're ready to go and test? The exam is going to be made up of 180 questions. So 180 questions that need to be completed in 230 minutes. The previous exam was 200 questions and it was a solid 4 hours. The new exam, 180 questions and 230 minutes. Because of the current situation in 2020, Project Management Institute started offering proctored exams that you could take from home. They're pretty stringent as far as the setting that you must be in at home. Someone watches you take the exam. You can't have reference documents. So that's one option. The other option is to schedule at an in-person approved testing facility. So proctored or in person. And then the test is made up of multiple choice, multiple responses, matching, hotspot, and limited fill in the blank. Now, if you did not know that a PMP certification exam outline existed, you do now. I'm going to be putting this in the comments, as I said previously. What this is going to do is focus on those 3 domains that we talked about. And here's an example of the first one, which is people. As again, as a reminder, that's 42% of the actual test. Then they break the domains down into different tasks. So task 1, task 2, task 3. And it tells you specifically what you need to be able to do and know for each of these different tasks. So this is definitely a tool that you should be using to help study for the certification exam. Again, I'm going to be posting this in the comments below, and this is going to focus on all 3 of those domains. It's stored out on PMI's website. All right, the new exam reference list. There are now 10 references for the new exam. I mentioned earlier the PMBOK 6th edition was the only real reference for the previous exam. Now there is the PMBOK 6th edition plus 9 other references. You can see them all listed right here with the first one, the Agile Practice Guide. It's got the author, which is Project Management Institute. They are also the certifying authority for the Project Management Professional Certification. And the publisher is the same, Project Management Institute. Same for the PMBOK 6th edition. It is authored and published by Project Management Institute. The third one, Project Management, a Systems Approach to Planning, Scheduling, and Controlling. And I've got the author and the publisher listed for each of these references, and I will make sure that you know where you can get this list as well. So again, now there's 10 references, which means the really amount of content that you will need to study is a lot more broad and diverse than just that PMBOK. This is what the 6th edition PMBOK guide looks like, and this is something that I think is extremely beneficial. Yes, to sit for the PMP certification exam, but even more important, to help you apply managing a project. So there are so many tips and tools that are included in this guide. For example, if you are wanting to know how you can accurately forecast a budget, there's a whole section in here on what type of expertise and tools you can use to come up with one. So I absolutely love my PMBOK guide. I have gotten one each time they're renewed. I certified in the year 2011, so I've been certified for 10 years now. And something that's important to note, there's going to be a 7th edition coming out. Project Management Institute is saying that it's going to be coming out at some point this year, 2021, but there is not a firm date on that. So if you are just in the early stages of thinking about exploring the PMP certification, then also know that a 7th edition guide will be coming out this year. The current exam that launched in January 2021 is based off of this 6th edition. So what about applying for the PMP exam? What do you need to know? I mentioned earlier that there is eligibility criteria, and I'm going to cover what that looks like. If you have a 4-year degree, then what you are going to need is 36 months of unique, non-overlapping professional project management experience. So when we say professional, this needs to be in a work setting, 36 months non-overlapping experience. You also need 35 hours of project management education or training, or the CAPM certification. So the CAPM certification also comes from Project Management Institute, and that certification is somewhat similar to the PMP. However, this is the certification that you would apply and sit for the exam if you didn't meet the actual experience requirements. So if you're sitting here saying, oh, I don't have 36 months of non-overlapping professional project management experience, you may want to explore the CAPM certification. That 35 hours of project management education or training, you can get that in a lot of different ways. I'm going to talk a little bit about the PMP Certification Exam prep course, which will allow you to meet all of those hours of education. So you can meet all of those by attending a PMP certification exam, sometimes called boot camp or prep course. If you do not have a 4-year degree, don't worry, there's still options for you as well. You can also have a high school diploma or an Associate of Arts degree or any type of associate's degree. And then you must have a little bit more experience. You have to have 60 months of unique, non-overlapping professional project management experience. So 60 months is what you have to have if you don't have the actual 4-year degree. You still have to have the 35 hours of project management education and training. So as far as the educational requirements, you want to make sure that you have logged anything that you're counting as your 35 hours. So if you've gone through any type of project management courses, maybe at a university, maybe online, maybe you do go through that certification exam prep course, then you want to make sure that you have recorded all of those. And so when you apply for the PMP certification exam, you can be really specific about how you've counted those up. The work must be completed at the time you submit the application. If you decide you're going to go to a prep course, that means you're going to need to do that prior to applying to Project Management Institute to sit for the exam. There is also this nifty handbook, the PMP handbook. I'm going to put a link to this in the comments as well. The great thing about this handbook is that it's going to give you all the details that you need as far as experience requirements and as far as your educational requirements. It's going to talk quite a bit about the PMP certification. So again, if you're exploring this certification, definitely download this handbook and read it. It's free, by the way, on PMI's website. Okay, let's talk about the Authorized Training Provider program because there are changes to this as of this year. Project Management Institute is now requiring that all organizations that offer the PMP Certification Exam prep courses, that they all use PMI content. So the reason for this is that PMI wanted to ensure that students that are generally paying a pretty good amount of money to go through these prep courses, that they're getting a high quality experience. So the way that this works for organizations have to apply and buy into the program. So to become an authorized training provider or partner, they have to buy into the program through PMI. They then have to use PMI's content that aligns with a PMP certification prep course. One step further, PMI is also mandating that any instructors are screened and approved before they can teach these prep courses. So instructors have to go through a 2-day training and they have to pass a test before they're technically approved as instructors. Some are referring to it as certified to teach the exam prep courses. So organizations have to be approved as an authorized training provider. Instructors have to be approved as kind of a certified instructor to teach this. Since all organizations are going to be teaching the same information, this is kind of an overview of what it looks like. So lesson 1, creating a high-performing team. Lesson 2, starting the project. Lesson 3, doing the work. Lesson 4, keeping on track, and Lesson 5, keeping the business in mind. This is generally going to be taught over 4 or 5 days in the classroom, depending on the organization that is leading it. And they don't have to teach the content in order. However, this is the recommended version from Project Management Institute. So the Authorized Training Partner Program, which is what I was just talking about, it was replacing the REP program, so the Registered Education Provider Program. It replaced that in December 2020. So now that we're in January 2021, it's going to be referred to as PMI's Authorized Training Partner Program. Again, all the course content for the exam prep has to be in alignment with what PMI has provided. If you're looking into going through a certification boot camp, you've got to ask, are they an authorized training provider? 1, and 2, is the instructor certified or approved to be an instructor for that particular course and content? Another thing that they're requiring for instructors are that the resumes are approved before they can even go through that 2-day training. And instructors must have Agile experience. Since Agile and hybrid is now making up 50% of the exam, that's a really important piece that instructors have hands-on experience kind of managing projects in that way. So I am an approved instructor, and my company, Effective Flow Connections, it does offer the certification exam prep courses. So if you're interested in just looking at some dates and understanding the pricing, I've linked in here Effective Flow Academy. I'm going to put that in the comments below. Effective Flow Academy, it focuses on training offerings and coaching. And again, I am the instructor for Effective Flow Connections. And if you want to just check out some of the dates, the next course is going to be March of 2021. And then there's going to be another course in June of 2021. So feel free to go out to Effective Flow Academy, look at those upcoming dates, look at the pricing of that, and certainly let us know if you have any questions. Now, let's say you've studied, you've gone through a prep course, and you are now PMP certified. Yay, it's exciting. I just want to cover a couple of things about maintaining your certification because the road does not end once you get those letters behind your name, PMP. In order to maintain your certification every 3 years, you have to complete 60 PDUs. So that stands for Professional Development Units, and you have to have 60 of those. 1 PDU equals 1 hour of learning activity. So there's 3 different areas that you can focus on: technical project management, leadership, or strategic and business management. You will get access to a portal on Project Management Institute once you are certified, and you go out there consistently is what I recommend. Once you do something as far as learning activity, you go in and you log it. I promise you 3 years will sneak up on you quickly, and so continuously looking for ways to continue learning and improve your knowledge in the project management world is highly recommended. Don't wait until your 3rd year and then try to cram it all in. So constantly kind of reading books, learning, going to training courses, because this is an ever-evolving, really, industry and career field. PMI website has so much information. If you're not familiar with it, it's pmi.org. And again, I'm going to put the PMP handbook in the comments below. I'm going to put a link to the PMP exam outline, and then I'm going to put a link to Effective Flow Academy where you can sign up and pay for a prep course if you would like to go through it with yours truly. Thanks for joining me today. Greatly appreciate you, and I hope that you have a great day. We talked about all things 2021 Project Management Professional, also known as PMP certification through Project Management Institute. I'm Candace Porter Again, I'm the founder and managing director of Effective Flow Connections. I've been certified for 10 years, and I've been working in the project management industry for much longer than that.